Hi guys, welcome back to Graceful Beauty. My name is Sherry and today I wanted to share something with you that honestly has completely changed my life. If you're somebody and you don't struggle with acne, I would still watch this, if you want, because what I'm going to talk about also can affect your body as well, even if you don't have acne. Before we get started, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, but you would like to be, please look down below and tap on that subscribe button. And if you want to get notified every time I post a new video, make sure you tap that little bell icon as well. And I hope you'll give this video a thumbs up. These are the two products that I want to talk about today. This is called Estroblock Pro, and this is the LivDtox, a liver detox. The reason I wanted to talk about these two products instead of some, special skincare that I use to get rid of acne is honestly because there was not a single skincare product out there that was able to cure the type of acne that I had. If you are somebody out there struggling and you've tried everything on the market, you've even changed your diet and you can't figure out why you're still having these horrible acne breakouts, you might benefit from these supplements the same way I did. Now let me just give a full disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I am not a healthcare provider. I was a medic in the military, but I am not giving any medical advice. So before you try anything that I ever discuss on my channel, especially a supplement or something like that, I would still talk to your doctor or dermatologist. So I should let you know the type of skin that I do have now. I have oily, acne-prone skin. I have hyperpigmentation and melasma, which is basically a hormonal type of hyperpigmentation. And briefly, just to give you a little bit of history about my skin, I never ever had acne as a child. I had super clear skin. And then, when I became a young adult, then I'd start getting the occasional, breakout here or there that time of the month. I'm now 46, by the way, just in case you guys don't know that. So about 3 years ago, I started getting these cyst-like pimples. Cystic acne, but they were not up here or here. They were mostly around my chin and my jaw, but they were also going down my neck. Now, if you go back to some of my first videos, you might see a few of them because I will still get them if I don't take this supplement. I've never stopped taking this supplement long enough to where the breakouts the way they initially happened, I've never stopped it long enough to let that happen again. I counted at one time I had 33. I kid you not, I wish I would have had pictures, but this was 3 years ago before I started YouTube. And of course I was not taking a picture back then. But I had 33 big, red, deep, cyst-like bumps. Now, they never turned into a whitehead. They just stayed there, and I'm talking they stayed there. I still have some of the scarring on my neck from some that I got about 4 months ago. It got to where I was getting so depressed, and I didn't really want to tell my husband. And I was even with him. He sees me with my gray hair, with cellulite, with no makeup, whatever. I don't care. I don't think he cares, but he might. I don't know. But I didn't even want him to see my face. It was so embarrassing. And I remember I would cry sometimes because I would, be getting ready for church or something and trying to cover these things up. And I couldn't do it. There was just nothing I could do because they were so large. And I remember one day I came out and I just was crying, and that's what I told him. I don't want to go. And I felt horrible because this acne was preventing me from, enjoying my life. You feel like people are staring, or, with my cellulite, I can throw on some Spanx, or, wear some yoga pants or whatever and suck it all in. But with acne, yeah, you can put on makeup, but then you just look like a cake face if you just keep piling it up and piling it up and piling it up. So I went to the dermatologist, and, he looked at my face and he asked me, well, what have you been doing? And I told him, I've tried benzoyl peroxide, I've tried beta hydroxy acids. I told him how I was cleansing my skin. I told him what my diet was, which for the most part is pretty healthy. I use my Vitamix and my juicer almost every day. I will, get a pizza every now and then, but for the most part, on a daily basis, we eat pretty healthy because I hate to work out. So that's a whole nother topic. He suggested that I take Accutane. I was not about to take Accutane. That was not happening. And then he also suggested I take the spironolactone. I think that's how you call it, spironolactone. I'll put it on the screen. And a lot of people have great results from both of those medications. But there's also a lot of side effects that I'm not interested in experiencing. I told him no thank you. I will get back to him. And so then I just started doing crazy research. I was like psychotic mad woman researching how to heal this. But I wanted to heal it in a more natural way, because since, I have a history of working in the hospital for, 11 years and working in the emergency room, in the medical field, a lot of times we just treat the symptoms. We don't get to the root of the problem and fix it that way. So now in my life, I'm all about figuring out how to prevent illnesses, but also how to treat them and get to the root cause of the problem versus taking some crazy prescription and having all other kinds of side effects. This is called Estroblock. It comes in a regular strength, and then this one is the Pro formula. It's a triple strength. So basically what this is just like the name says, it blocks your estrogen. Now what is in this? It's called a DIM supplement, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce what DIM stands for. I'll pop it here on the screen. And what DIM is, that's in here, it's a natural substance that's found in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, a lot of the vegetables that many of us do not like to eat. I juice a lot, and I use the Vitamix a lot. Even with the amount that I juice and that I drink in my Vitamix, I'm not getting the amount that's in one of these capsules. So basically what this is just a ton of cruciferous vegetables in one little capsule, and let me show you what it looks like. They're not big at all. This little pill. This is the LivDtox. It has apricot seed in it. Let's see, I can't read this far. Astragalus, turmeric. It has asparagus powder in it, pomegranate, ginger. A lot of really good things in this too, but I'm going to talk about the liver here in a second. So you might be wondering, well, why is it called Estroblock? Why would I want to block my estrogen? Well, there's a big reason why taking Estroblock helped me. Because you might be thinking, isn't estrogen good? I thought estrogen was good for our bodies. Estrogen actually is good when it's in the right levels. And, in fact, estrogen actually can help your acne. So yes, it's really good, but too much of anything can be bad. I mean, water's really good for you, right? But if you chug a ton of water, you could actually die. But I won't go into why that happens in the body. You can Google it if you want to know why. So just know that too much of even a good thing, it can kill you. So estrogen's not bad, but in my case and in many people's case, and actually men actually have estrogen too, but I'm really only talking about women because I don't really know much about, the male body and all that. I just, know mostly about women, clearly. So what estrogen does, if you're estrogen dominant like I am, what happens is it spikes your androgen levels. So what happens when the androgen levels get spiked and they produce a bunch more sebum, the sebum clogs your pores and causes acne. And so the reason why I was saying, even if you don't struggle with acne, this might be something you're interested in, because estrogen in high amounts in your body is just not good. I also have fibrocystic breasts. I've had that forever. But if you are a woman and you're like, man, my breasts are lumpy, and you have to keep going in for mammograms and ultrasounds and stuff like that, like I do, you might have too much estrogen. And a lot of women, their breast cancer, that oftentimes studies have shown it's because they have too much estrogen in their body. So again, I'm not a doctor, but if this is something that interests you, you really should start researching it, because a lot of people don't know this, and I never knew this. I didn't have a clue about this. So also you could go to like a bioidentical hormone doctor, which I've done that before also, but he gave me all kinds of things, iodine and I don't know, all these other things. And he gave me levels of progesterone and all of this, and I started getting pimples all over. And I was like, oh no, I don't care that this was thousands of dollars since insurance doesn't cover it. I was like, I'm not doing this. And he's like, no, please, just, you got to stay on this. This is great. let me just tweak the dose of this. I was like, nope, don't want to do it, because I was just getting weird pimples that I never had. So bioidentical hormone doctors, I think that they're so good because they really know, your hormones, and they're not all about, take Accutane. That's not what's going to happen if you go to a bioidentical hormone doctor. But Most insurance companies, I don't think, cover it. Ours didn't. Now, there are other things that can raise your estrogen. There are things called xenoestrogens, and I will put that on the screen so you can see what it is. What xenoestrogens are, those are basically things that are mimicking the estrogen or pretending to be estrogen. And those are things where you get xenoestrogens from. Things like BPA, plastics, plastic water bottles, or styrofoam cups. Especially never put hot water or freeze plastic or styrofoam because it produces more of that horrible chemical. Also store receipts. Have you ever noticed when you go to Whole Foods that they don't give you a receipt unless you want it because those are covered in BPA? Or if you see the cashiers wearing gloves, a lot of times because there's so much BPA on store receipts. So if you don't need a receipt, don't touch it, don't take it. Things like phthalates, phthalates are in fragrance. So I love my Chanel. So I know I'm getting phthalates in these fragrances. But things like candles. I used to buy every candle and the whole house looked like a bonfire basically because I had candles burning everywhere. But that fragrance that's in those, or Glade plugins or Glade spray, Lysol, all of those fragrances, even our skincare, and I'm guilty of that. Hairspray, things like that. I do still use stuff that has phthalates in it. If you try to cut back on some of these things that are xenoestrogens. But honestly, I just think fragrance and a lot of things is really bad. And there are some people that say, oh, that's just a scam. People are trying to trick you, so that you'll buy healthy candles. There's really no healthy candles unless I guess they're made with essential oils, but then the burning, my husband's a firefighter, so the burning, that smoke, and stuff, the chemicals that are in that, they're just not good for you to breathe that in. There are so many other things. I'm talking the bovine growth hormones in animals, soy. I don't even eat soy anymore, or I don't eat products that have soy isoflavin or any of those byproducts of soy unless it's organic soy, because soy also mimics your natural estrogen. Chemical sunscreens, that's something else that has a lot of xenoestrogens in it. So hence the reason why you pretty much only see me using physical or all mineral sunscreens. Now, the main reason is because I like to rub them all around my eyes, and any chemical sunscreen burns my eyes so bad, but there are xenoestrogens, fake estrogens in chemical sunscreens. Anyway, so what I'm saying is I like to come to you guys and tell you things not based on, oh, I read this or I read that. I like to tell you when I've tried something and what actually works for me. But again, I'm not saying it's going to work for you. Also, I forgot to mention, after I saw the dermatologist, I went back to my primary doctor. She's amazing. I love her. She also has melasma, so she's always saying, well, what are you doing? What are you using now for skincare? So what I did when I went back to my primary doctor, and I had already researched Estroblock, I told my primary doctor about this, and she said, you know what's interesting? I was telling your story to one of our GYNs who specializes in hormones, and she said she wants to draw your blood and see what your estrogen is doing. And so they had me come in, I don't remember what day, maybe on day 17 of the cycle. Your cycle's 28 days. I don't know, it could be 11. I don't remember. I'll have to link the website to the chart down below so you know when your estrogen would spike. But so she had me come in when my estrogen should be at the highest, and they drew my blood, and then a few days later she called me and she was like, are you pregnant? I said, no, I'm not pregnant. Like, why? And she said my estrogen was like off the charts. It was so ridiculously high. I can't remember what the number was. So she said, yeah, try your Estroblock. See if that works for you. And so what I started doing is I just started taking one in the morning, I think one in the morning and one at night. And I kid you not, within 3 days, instead of them being these big, hard, red, painful, cystic bumps, they were still there. Of course, the scars stay forever, but they were like shrunk. They were like flat. They weren't painful. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I didn't add any new skincare or anything. All I did was take these little broccoli pills, basically is what I call them. And they stink. They actually, the pills stink really bad. So just to let you know, if you ever take one and then you burp, just make sure nobody is nearby you. You don't want to ever have that happen to me when my husband was like standing this close to me when I thought it'd just be a little silent ladylike burp. No, don't do that. Don't do that. So I continue to take them twice a day. Within 2 weeks, I mean, they were gone. they were completely gone, but there was just like pink scarring left. So I'm telling you, this stuff, after me being depressed, me, you know, not even being able to leave to go to church and spending hours trying to create, you know, mask this, cover this, you know, put concealer here. I mean, it was just so embarrassing, and I could not leave the house without makeup. Golly, I wish I had a picture, you guys, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about if any of you suffer with this. Also, ladies, if you have the polycystic ovary or ovarian syndrome, PCOS, you know, when I'm reading through different blogs, I hear so many women saying, you know, I tried this medicine and this, and I still have PCOS, and they're growing hair on their face, and, you know, they've got horrible acne, and they, you know, can't get pregnant. I mean, there's so many things that can happen. I've read so many stories about women that had PCOS that it was gone. You know, they didn't have all of these problems with the cyst all over their ovaries after they took this Estroblock. So I'm not making any medical claims. I'm just saying what I have read. So honestly, for me, I'm just saying this is the most amazing product that has ever been created. You know, there are so many people out there that are really depressed, and their quality of life is horrible, not because they have some serious illness or, you know, a death in the family, but because they have acne. I mean, I know some people will say, oh, get over it, it's just acne, but it is life-altering when you have acne. So now I want to talk about this liver detox. This is so important. I'm just letting you know right now, if you buy the Estroblock Pro, or if you are taking a DIM supplement, now I've never tried any other DIM supplements. I just didn't want to. I had such amazing results with this. I've just never wanted to try anything else. But if you take any type of a DIM supplement or the Estroblock, don't waste your money on only that if you're not detoxing your liver. Now, you don't have to buy this one. I've actually just used regular other liver detox stuff that I've gotten at Whole Foods, like milk thistle, things like that. So you might wonder, well, why would she even be talking about the liver now? I thought we were talking about estrogen. Well, there's a reason why you must detox your liver when you're taking a DIM supplement or Estroblock. Now, what does the liver do? The function of the liver is to detox the body. So what happens when those xenoestrogens and, you know, get into our body and our estrogen gets really, really high and we are estrogen dominant? What happens is, even though the liver is trying to filter things properly, well, when it gets overloaded, it's not able to filter it all out properly, and then it just circulates right back into your body and causes more acne. That's another reason, not just your liver, but you want to be cleansing out your colon and your gut. You know, I'm sure if you look up stuff about gut health, how a lot of our illnesses start in our gut, and that's why I like probiotics, and not just probiotic supplements, but, you know, kimchi and different fermented foods and things like that to really help clean out your gut, because many of our illnesses, they start right here in our gut. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dermatologist. I'm simply telling you what has worked for my skin. Now, I don't take these 2 times a day anymore. I'm not saying don't take them 2 times a day. I honestly wait until I see one pop up or one here. I mean, the first sign of it, even if I feel something here or here, I start taking them instantly. Now, I'm not saying that's the best way to do it. They probably recommend for you to continually take them, but that's just what I do, you know, then I can just save a little more money. But every time I take this, I always take this, or a milk thistle, or some type of a liver detox supplement. Thanks so much, you guys. I really appreciate you watching. And don't forget to subscribe and tap that notification bell if you want to get notified every time I post a new video. Thanks again, and I hope you guys have a great day.